right, this is another episode of the Director's Cut. It's DJ Frost in the building. We got a special guest here today. This is the first, business interview I ever did. This is one of my personal homies, you heard?
Yeah.
This is Jomo.
Yes, sir.
Let them know. Go ahead. Give your intro, man. Pop it
real
real quick, bro.
Yeah. Hey. So my name is Jomo. Everybody in the my business world know me by Joe. Joe is keeping it tidy.
Okay.
I am gonna show my shirt real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I did bring a special little shirt. It's actually one of my work shirts as well. I done rocked this a couple of times at the job site. But yeah, that's our logo. That's supposed to be me, by the way. Superman. Yeah. It's like a Superman and clean, reorganized garages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, for sure, man. So, give them a whole, background, on you. Where you from, your parents, what schools you went to, all of that.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm from Flint, Michigan.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
At the mitten,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I grew up in Flint, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I had a normal upbringing. For Flint, Michigan. I grew up in the middle, not really full rough side, but not all unicorns and rainbows either.
Yeah. Nah,
so it was right in the middle.
Okay.
My mom, she really I would say struggled in the beginning of her stages. Me growing up, and once I hit my teenage stages, she started a lot of her business adventures that she was trying to do at first. She was always in the mental health field and stuff, working with people with mental issues and stuff. So I was around that kind of people, so it was diverse for me. But as the years went on, once I got in my teenage stages, she started having business adventures.
Okay.
And one of them finally paid off, and it was actually in the mental health field. And so when she got that rolling, we had a choice. We could either, move to another state or stay in the violent community. If Flint, Michigan is real violent. I had family members that got shot, a whole bunch of crazy stuff that didn't happen. And so her business finally took off. I think she was doing maybe $10,000 a month. She went from maybe $2,000 a month to $10,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? So when she left, I ended up leaving with her, and that's basically where the entrepreneurship started. Once my mom knew she could really do it, she always wanted to be an entrepreneur and instilled it in us. She would always say, use your 9 to 5 to
make your dreams happen.
Yeah, to make your dreams happen for real. Yeah. So she went from doing that to us moving out of Flint, Michigan. I left with her.
Okay. And how old were you when you did that?
I was 18 when I left Flint, Michigan. Yeah, so I had just turned 18. And also in Flint, Michigan, I graduated early, so I was 15 to 8 months old, and I started college at 16 years old. And once I started college, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I ended up going to physical therapy assistant. Because my father was always into fitness and stuff. So I knew I wanted to do something with the body and fitness, and I was already working out and everything. So I went to school for physical therapy assistant. And then I realized that really wasn't
all you wanted to do.
Yeah, what I really wanted to do. Yeah, for real. Yeah. So
I want to ask you this, as you being my friend as well.
Yeah.
So it's what made you really take that leap of faith and just jump and be in a business owner so young?
So I'll say firstly seeing my mom do it,
Okay.
Yeah, once I seen my mom do it, that gave me
you was kind of scared though, weren't you?
I was frightened. Yeah, I was terrified. Yeah, so my business now is keeping it tidy, right? So when we came to Georgia, right? So we found out that was the place that we were gonna move to.
Yeah.
Came to Georgia. My mom instantly was like, I don't want to just go here and work a job. It's gonna be tough. My mom do have degrees and stuff like that, but she didn't really want to go into the field that she was in. So she was like, you know what? My stepdad at the time, he was doing trucking, right? So she went into the trucking field and she joined me in. So she kind of at that point introduced me to entrepreneurship and gave me that feel that broke that fear. Yeah. And we did some good numbers, in like 6 months,
Okay.
we did some real good numbers. So that helped me break the fear as well, you know. And
so you just knew.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so in the beginning stages, once our trucking company started going, but we still weren't making enough money to fund, like, for me to really survive, you know.
Yeah.
And I had started a family as well. You know, I got married at 17 years old.
Yeah.
You know, so I already had like a whole little family going, bro. So I had to really get it and make it happen, you know.
No, for sure.
Yeah, so she couldn't really pay me like I needed to be paid. So I ended up getting a part-time job, and the part-time job ended up being a job called ItTiddy Garages, right?
Okay.
And that's what introduced me to my first step in entrepreneurship. I was an independent contractor for them, and all they did was clean garages. They was right out of Florida. Shout out Ronald Quintana, you know, for ItTiddy Garages. They shut down now, but they were open for about, when they came to Georgia, they were open for maybe about a year or so. And I didn't know I was the first person to start with them in Georgia. You know, I was like, dang, I'm the first. I ain't know, you know. He ended up calling me like, you know, after they about 6 employees in, you know, like I'm training people and everything. Like, you know, he's the first person to start with us in Georgia. I was like, nah, I was just grinding. Yeah, I was 18 and I was training these people. I didn't even know I could clean and reorganize garages. You know, I ain't gonna say I was super lazy, you know. I didn't always keep my room clean, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna say I was super lazy, but I was an average teenager, you know.
Yeah, no, I feel it.
Yeah, so I didn't even know I could clean and reorganize garage. I barely like to cut our grass in the front yard. Let's put some cheese, put some money.
You gotta bribe me to get them out there. You feel me? For sure.
Yeah. So I you know, they contacted me. I applied on Indeed. They contacted me. I thought it was a scam. They reached out to me, you know, and was like, hey, you want to start? We can start tomorrow. I'm like, dang, that's fast. Tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Hey, that's so like one of them jobs that be like, hey, wait, when can I start? Hey, now.
Right, yeah, now, right. Like, hold on, wait a minute. And he was like, yeah, I got a guy, you know, I'm going to send him down from Florida. You know, I'm going to send him up from Florida. Yeah. And he's going to help you in your first job. I was like, what? You know, so yeah, I ended up doing that. He helped me in my first job. He walked me through it. Okay. And then he did break down, like, there is a certain way you clean garages, right? Like, I didn't know it was like a formula to it, you know? So, like, people don't know. So that's why a lot of our customers, they get lost. They looking at the garage, like, I don't even know where to start. Yeah. But there is like a formula to cleaning and reorganizing garages. And of course, we do a lot more than that now. You know, in my business, I got creative, but originally I was just cleaning and reorganizing garages. And and once I was doing that, cleaning, reorganizing garages. Once he showed me and trained me, showed me how to do everything. After they shut down, he was telling me he was shutting down like 8 months later. Yeah. And then the CEO of the company ended up calling me, and he was like, "Hey, I'm getting ready to shut down in a couple months, and I just want to let you know, because you do so well, I think you can start your own. You know, I don't understand how you haven't started your own business, you know, already, you know." And that actually gave me that courage, you know,
to go get up and start
to keep going. Yeah. So once he did that, he gave me a whole little spiel, you know. Yeah.
And he gave you some game.
Yeah. He gave me a whole little spiel, some game. Yeah. And then I learned from the things that they did wrong, and they shut down, the reasons why they shut down. I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
I want to ask you this now. Yeah. What can you say has been the most challenging thing as like being a business owner?
Being a business owner.
Like the most challenging aspect, you would say?
So I think it's been stages of challenges, right? Okay. So, like, you know, stuff always start off hard and then get easy later on. I would say right now, because I have the business, right? Like, we're rolling in the business, is really finding good people to work, you know, good employees, good, you know, good help, you know, like, we go through a lot of individuals, you know, so that's definitely really tough, especially now. Like, once COVID and stuff hit, it really, you know, put a damper on, like, people wanting to work. They got a bunch of them, you know, them was the COVID checks and all that stuff, man. That was a real hard time at that time too.
To get people to work.
Yeah, to get them to work, man. Yeah. And then now it's still like that. Of course, in the beginning stages, it was just really getting work, you know. But
true.
Yeah. But one of the things I did do in the beginning stages that I got over that hump, like right off back, like I started off with a good track that it would have been difficult for other people, is that because I worked with ItTiddy Garage and they were shutting down, I had the emails of all those people, and I was able to reach out to them. That it gave me they gave me a jump start. Everybody don't get blessed like that. It did give me a jump start. So I about had like 5-6 garages like my first couple of weeks into business.
Okay, so you was good. Like you already had at least
right.
I say what, halfway start in the race.
Right. Almost. Just about. I just had to keep the momentum going, but
that's it.
I had to definitely jump start. Something else that's been really challenging for me. Vehicles, like keeping my vehicles on the road. Like right now I'm just a 2-truck operation. I did get up to 3 trucks. Where I had a Suzuki dump truck, a Chevy, Ford, and we pulled dump trailers. Right. I started off with a utility trailer, but just keeping them on the road, man. Like just recently, I mean, just like 2 days ago, man, I just blew my the pipe go to my dump trailer. One of my dump trailers won't dump no more. Man. The whole little line just, I mean, we dumping books, and it just boom, and all the liquid and everything came out. Man. I just blew 2 tires just in the last couple of weeks. Just riding on the street, and the trailer get the fish tail just a little bit, and boom, blew another tire, man. $220 in one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like people don't understand the expenses either, So
no, that's true.
Keeping the vehicles rolling, man, just that's challenging. Like I'm at the point now where I'm getting the business. I've been in business for 9 years, right?
Okay.
So
and let them know how old you are.
Bro. Yeah. So I'm 29 years old. December I'll be 30. Yeah, December the 13th. I'll be 30. 29 years old. So I've been doing this all my adulthood. So I actually in the beginning stage was doing this and running a trucking company. I'm not gonna talk about the trucking companies too much, but I was doing a trucking company, and we got up to about 40 trucks. And then I was also we was doing that, and we was also working, and keeping the TDC rolling. It was already rolling, but it's rolling now. We doing our thing now.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you, like, what mistakes did you make in the past that you're learning from now?
Okay. Let's see. I had a lot of mistakes. So I think one of the biggest mistakes is thinking that I have to put all of this money into advertising. It's really putting it into the right advertisements, right? And then not putting all your eggs in one basket. I actually took a bunch of L's just basically in the last year or so. I took a big L doing that. But definitely way in the past, in the beginning stage when I started making some money, I try to put it all in one area, and if that area doesn't work, you're gonna take a big L. You know what I'm saying? But if you put a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, and just see what works for us, and find the formula, then you can put more money into that. But I still would never recommend just one form of advertising.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what advice would you give someone starting their own business right now?
First of all, is just never giving up, because I have up and down stages. I'm 9 years in, and I still have up and down stages, and I feel like if I would have gave up early on, I would have, I wouldn't have been where I'm at now, at my stage of business, and I still don't feel like I'm far enough. I don't feel like I'm there, but
why you say that?
I say I'm not far enough because I just got so many big goals in mind. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like
I was just set big goals for yourself.
So every time I set a big goal, I'll hit that big goal,
and now you gotta.
And then I'll be like, I don't feel like I'm there. I gotta keep going, and everybody else is looking at me like, bro, look where you at in your business. Look what you doing.
Exactly.
Like because I'm right now full time. I don't do any other job. It's just keeping it tidy now. So running, getting contracts and everything.
For sure.
But as far as like just starting your own business, having what would you call it? Basically, when something gets in your way, obstacle gets in your way, learning how to adapt to change. Learn that. I think that's the biggest thing. Learn how to adapt to change. And just never giving up is like a big thing in business.
So how you deal with like competitors and stuff like that, and different like people in the same field as you,
right? So I honestly feel like nobody's in the exact same field as me because of what we do. So I won't say vast because it's not vast, but So what we do, we clean, reorganize garages, right? But we don't just stop there. Like we epoxy flooring. We basically do everything with garage. We paint garages. And then now we connected with some guys. And shout out to the garage guy. You know, he been in business just as long as I have. And he I'm connected with him. He installs the shelves, but we getting ready to start doing that too, you know. I ain't gonna say too much with that, but we getting ready to start doing some other stuff, you know. But
now you just peep game.
We getting ready to start. So our goal is to do everything with garages. You know, like I started doing junk removal, but junk removal was something that we just needed. If you're cleaning a garage, you have to haul the trash away, right?
Yeah.
So like the company I worked for before, they didn't haul the trash away. They called other companies and all that. To come get the trash and have to upcharge. They have to charge like, and these junk removal companies like taxing, you know. And so I found a way to make everything into like a package deal so that you don't have to pay
2 or 3 people to get
2 3 people done. And they all trying to get their upcharge on everything, you know, and I can just charge this one whole price to take your trash away, clean, reorganize your garage, paint your garage, do the floors, everything, and you come out way cheaper at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Right? And I still get my money. You know, like we still us our employees get paid everything, but we still get, you know, the money without having to charge an arm and a leg. So like as far as like competitors, you have the guys that do junk removal. You have the guys that do you really don't have too many people that actually clean and reorganize garages. Most people don't even know where to start. Exactly. They just don't like doing it. Yeah.
They like, just either leave it there until it's time to move.
Right. Yeah. Like, they don't really know. Yeah. Like, because I had plenty of people like our booking rate is like a 95%. Like with garage cleanings, right? It's like it's literally like a 95%. We'll have customers that'll call us. I'll give them the pricing. They don't have anyone to really compare us to because nobody really cleans and reorganizes garage the way we do to the extent that we do. They might help with organization needs and stuff like that. Nobody's going to go from the ceiling all the way down to the floors, get all the corners, everything, and help you wipe everything down before we bring it back inside. And we still communicating with you and making sure you're all right. And just, you know, it's like we give people like that family feel. So like, I don't know another company like it. And my customers don't either. They actually try to find people that they can compare the price to. So they'll just call me back. They were like, "Oh, I'll find somebody else to call because your price is a little high." But how do you know my prices are high? Who you gonna call? They call somebody else,
and then they come back. Whoa!
And they go, "Oh, nobody else does what you do, not to the extent that y'all do it, you know." And we have other services that's coming too. As far as like a lot of our garages, we have problems with once we finish cleaning, reorganizing our after pictures, we got them oil stains on the floor. And a lot of people don't want to pay that high price to epoxy their entire floor, get the floor grinded out, 2-day process, all that stuff. Or even painting the garage because we do that as well. But paint don't last that long, you know, like it just don't. And a lot of people want a long lasting floor. So now we're working on some ways to get rid of those oil stains and right away. Because they have some stuff that go on the floor on the oil stains. You got to leave for 12 hours, 24 hours on the floor just to pull the oil. We're not going to be able to do that, you know, come back 12 hours, 24 hours, and then put your stuff back and sit on the driveway trying to get these oil stains up, you know. And so we're working on some innovative ways to really, you know, to knock that out. That's one of our things we want to accomplish. Yeah.
Okay. So do you actually go through like neighborhoods and, you know, give out your business cards, or do you leave them at mailboxes and all that? Do you do that?
Right. Yeah. So I do that. I do. I still to this day, I still will get on the corner and hold up a sign. Yeah. You know, and I had people like talk crazy to me, like, get a real job, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for real?
Talk crazy. Yeah. They don't even know. I just made $400,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they, you know, people judgmental, you know, judge book by its cover, and they don't understand that I'm out here really grinding. Yeah, to this day, I still 9 years in, I was standing in front of myself. You know.
So I'm gonna ask you this: where do you see your business in like the next 5 years?
The next 5 years. So my goal is not to grow too big. You know how like, so it's to grow big, but not. I don't want to expand outside of Georgia, right? So I think at this point. Now that I've been a 3-truck operation and I went down, I'm thinking maybe now it might change in the future because, you know, like as we've been going on, I've been talking, it might change in the future, but right now I'm thinking about a 5-truck operation is where I want to be at, because I feel like that's at that point, I can actually, of course, hire enough people to keep things running. I can get a manager at that point to manage everything, and I can still travel, but I won't have so much overhead. So much. I've learned from some mistakes in the past of, I try to grow really, really fast up to a 3-truck operation. And 3-truck operation is not bad. It's not super bad, but I do know that I need to not try to grow so fast. Actually, like, slow it down a little bit, learn a little more before I start just pushing. Because I went to a 3-truck operation not really knowing how the dynamics change when you go to a 3-truck operation, and actually your profit don't really change drastically as much as people would think. Your gross go up, but now you have more people to pay, more expenses from trucks, so
maintenance.
So I think about 5 trucks, but once I get to 5 trucks, really honing in on, just honing in on everything, make sure the dynamic of the business, everything is going well and smooth at that point, like every time I add a truck, so I think about 5-truck operation. And of course, some of the services that I'm working on now added. So basically doing everything with the garages at that point, like fixing the garage doors, because we're working on that as well. I want to be able to fix the garage doors, paint the garages, which we're doing right now, but epoxy flooring, garage clean reorganization, trying to find a way around the stains on the floors and the concrete, basically to get the oil stains out and stuff without having to just epoxy it, but just doing everything with garages. And somebody can call us when something goes wrong with their garage, and call us, and we can come, and anything that has to do with your garage, we can get it done.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you, what are your biggest hopes and fears for the future of your business?
So as far as, like, I think maybe I start with fears. As far as something fears.
Shit.
I
try not to have fear.
Right,
That'd be the thing. You try your best not to have fear in this, because it's like, once you catch that fear feeling, you start that you don't want to have that scared feeling in this. You know what I mean? It start making you feel like you want to back out of it. You know what I mean? And it's like, nah.
So I would say, like I was saying in the past, like, for new entrepreneurs, being able to adapt to change. I feel like, because I've been really, focusing on adapting to change, I know things are just changing. The world is changing,
True.
So I feel like fear kind of keeps me going. It's like, when I have something I'm fearful of, that means I need to go for it, honestly. So I do have fears. Like, of course, business can shut down, things can happen, but I've always, even though I have fears, I've always found ways to, even when my business was going south, to work a job, or when I wasn't on the truck. I had a point when I wasn't on the truck at all. Now I'm back on the truck. Even though I have employees, I'm still back on the truck, because I realized, like, as a small couple truck operation, just being there helps, would make everything go smoother.
Yeah, that is true.
So I try to be there on most jobs. But as far as fearing the changes in the business is not. I'm not really fearful of the things that change. Even though I do have fears, but I use that as motivation to keep going, and just keep adapting. I fear that. I'm like, okay, I am scared to do that, but that means I need to go do it. So I go do it.
Just try it.
And be like, oh, and then I'll break past that fear, and I got a new fear, but I'm always breaking past. I'm always trying to break past, new obstacles.
That's real though.
So, like, all the fears that I have is like obstacles. Now, as far as, like, hopes, like. And I pray that I'm blessed with, my goal is to be successful, as far as, like, getting to that 5-truck operation, getting a real good and solid employees that can rock with me for long periods of time. I have guys now. I have 2 guys now that has been with me since the beginning. Literally just on and off, but they've been with me since the beginning. And helping me push, and that's having a good team is good.
The main thing.
So, like, that's one of the things I just I hope for in my business. But as far as fears, my fears are always changing as well, and I try to break through them, by just adapting to change.
All right. Okay. So, like, I'm gonna say to all my viewers out there, y'all tap in, y'all follow his Instagram, y'all tell a friend. Yeah. Keep my man in business for 30, 40, 50 years, man. You heard? Like, y'all really tap in, because I know all of the people now, like, we own it. We about to start getting our homes. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we getting home. Your garages is dirty.
Hey, let me show them. One more time. And make sure I run the mic.
Word, you know you be lazy. Look.
CD.
This is a promo right here.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you know you lazy after that 14-hour shift and you don't got time on the weekends, or the kids getting on your nerves. Keeping it tight.
Hey, let us do your dirty work. That's our slogan. I ain't got it on here. Let us do your dirty work. That's what we show. Yes, sir.
And just like that, it's DJ Frost here.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Joe, we're keeping it tidy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
My brother. And just like that is another episode, and we out of there.
Yeah, we out.